Welcome back, everyone. I hope you're having a great day. I'm having a pretty good day. I got off of work early. Not going to complain about that. That was nice. So I get a head start on doing some work today. I'm feeling productive. I'm feeling pretty good. So today is my fourth entry into my sketchbook project that I'm doing for the Brooklyn Library of Art. I'm really excited about today. I'm really excited about today's song. It's very upbeat. It's really easy to put on repeat for me. Of course, all of these songs are really easy for me to listen to on end over and over again. But this song in particular has a very special place in my heart, and I'll talk about that in the voiceover portion. But I'm going to be going back to color pencils today, which I feel like I haven't really, I still haven't mastered them. I know why I haven't mastered them. I don't quite have the patience or the experience with these tools. So I'm going to open this up real quick and kind of talk about these particular kinds of color pencils. This is Prismacolor. They are notorious for being very soft but kind of easy to break. I've been very fortunate with these. These haven't broken on me. I actually haven't had any problems with these other than probably it's more about the surface that I'm using. They just really don't cover the surface as much as I would like. Using colored pencils, you kind of need to do everything in layers, and like I said, the patience is really what I lack. But I've got a good feeling about today. I think I'm going to do much better. I'm going to try to take my time a little bit more, and I'm going to try to do things in layers and do my best to apply my brain to what it is I'm doing, and try to learn as much as I can while I'm going, and try to improve on the drawing as I do it. I really hope it comes out well. Like I said, I don't have a whole lot of experience using colored pencils. I used them a little bit when I was a kid, but I used very cheap colored pencils, like the cheapest you could get. Like even for dollar store, it was like the clearance or discount aisle of the dollar store. You get them for like 50 cents because some of them are like broken, or they're repeats, or they're really more like very hard, mostly wax colored pencils. It's really hard to get the color off of them. So I remember when I was a kid, I used to do my best with colored pencils, and I would have to like just go nuts on that paper to try to get it to where I got the color as saturated as I wanted. And if you remember, I'm colorblind, so it would have to be pretty darn saturated for me to understand what it was that I was seeing. Of course, now that I'm older, I understand a little bit more what it is that I'm doing. I'm taking the tools a little bit more seriously. I'm taking the subject matter a little bit more seriously. I'm not just doing my best to draw like a fighter plane that has like orange and like deep blue stripes on it, like a tiger or something. I think that was one of my favorite drawings I did when I was a kid. It looks atrocious right now, but so I'm going to do my best with this. We'll see how it goes. So overall, I'm pretty optimistic about how this is going to turn out. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Remember, I do put a link down in the description for the song that has inspired this drawing or painting or whatever it is I'm doing for the week. So if you feel like checking it out, I encourage you to. I'm sure you're going to love it. This is one of my favorite songs of all time. This has got to be like top 5. This has got to be one of my top 5 favorite songs. Enjoy the video, and I will see you guys at the end. So I said in the earlier part of this video that this song is easily one of my top 5 favorite songs, and I meant it. The way this song opens with some classical sounding piano, very crisp and very clean, to where it breaks in with distorted guitars and for like a heavy sound, and the voice of Greg Dulli that sounds like it is experienced at emotional evisceration, that ties the whole thing together. This song is one of my favorites of all time. From the first moment that I heard it, when I think it was probably my first semester at college, and to this day, 13 years later or something like that. It is still one of my favorite songs. The overall theme of it is essentially being lured back to a life you know is self-destructive, but is um, the lure proves to be too much. It is easy to go back to a life that you know is going to be the end of you, but it is just the easiest path. It's something that you drugs. The song is about drugs. um, Greg Dooley has spoken a little bit about his uh, addiction problems, alcohol, drugs, and in the terms that I relate to it, I can't say that I've ever experienced addiction that way. I don't understand, or I can't speak from experience, I should say, uh, addiction to drugs or alcohol or anything like that. But I do understand the addiction to people. People can be emotionally destructive to you, maybe not physically destructive or even abusive. It's so much as this relationship will not work, this pursuit will not work. So when I hear this song, I actually think about a friend of mine. He had a girlfriend. I don't know how long they were dating, but she was emotionally abusive to him, and he never quite understood that. His brother was the same way. Like, he was in a relationship with a girl that he, absolutely adored, but emotionally abusive. I had had some experience with, getting over somebody that you never thought you would, and I, did my best to help them. But every week it was about, listen, man, she's just gonna hurt you again. Like, listen, man, she's lying to you. Listen, man, I was doing a lot of listen, man, talks with my friends, and the ironic thing was that neither of them recognized their own weaknesses when they looked at each other. Like, one friend would be like, "Oh, look at him! Like, he just doesn't get it. Like, I don't know why he doesn't get it." Meanwhile, they're in the same situation. Um, but that just kind of comes with the territory of being too close to your own problems to see that they are problems. It's very difficult to be in a situation like that where you can't really help your friends any more than they're willing to be helped. And I know that sounds very sad, and it's a bit of a downer, but the upturn of this story, or moral, whatever you want to call the takeaway from these situations, is that eventually they did. Eventually they realized they were better than the situation they were putting themselves in. Hopefully you've never had to deal with that kind of situation. Hopefully you've never been hung up on somebody or something that so hard that you don't see yourself for what you're worth. But if you are, it's important to know you deserve to be happy. But you do need to stop chasing validation from people before you understand that you can validate yourself. I don't know if any of that made sense. I hope it did. Um, the song doesn't have quite that positive takeaway at the end, but it does have this really cool guitar solo. So that's cool, right? um, so while the song really is just talking about the lures of a darker life, it is important to understand that we all do go through that. We all struggle with something. We all feel mired in our own self-pity sometime, and we need to be able to accept that we are human and we make mistakes, but we are learning machines. So it's important to learn from our mistakes too. Speaking of mistakes, so I finished this drawing. I thought I was done, and then I was like, nah. So I went back to it, and I tried to finish it up some more, and it turned out pretty good. Like, I'm okay with it. I'm not. This is probably not my favorite drawing that I have done so far, but it is better than I knew where it was going. I kind of started this drawing, and I had an idea. I knew the composition more or less, but I just didn't know how I was going to execute it. If I had done this maybe with like watercolor or maybe just black and white inks or something like that, it probably would have been like a stronger image in my mind. But really, I went in there with color pencils because I feel like it needed to be in color. I needed the fire sunset that I was kind of envisioning in my mind when I hear this song. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. My question for the week is, I don't think I've asked this yet. What's your current favorite song? Like, I won't ask for like a top five. I don't want to make you do a whole bunch of work and research and like, well, I gotta narrow it down to a list. What song are you kind of obsessed with right now? I kind of go through these bouts of like listening to a song for like uh, a week or two if I'm like just really interested in it, and I can kind of listen to it over and over again. After those 2 or 3 weeks, I can kind of let it go and fall into a regular playlist that I have. Or sometimes I just get sick of it and I'm like, all right, that's enough of that, and then I'll just let it go. I don't know how common that is. I feel like that's probably a common thing, right? Like people just have these passing fancies. I think probably. All right. I'll see you guys back in the studio. Thanks for watching. All right, so I've completed it, and it turned out pretty well. I think I'm happy with it. As you saw, I kind of had to go back and fix it. I wasn't really happy with where I left off, and overall, I think it turned out pretty good. I'm still looking forward to using colored pencils in the future. Still learning it, but pretty happy. Anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for joining me. For some reason, my wrists are getting really hot, so I'm gonna go ahead and say goodbye for now. Listen, I know I've got a problem with wristbands. All right, I'm not blind. Okay, all right. But I wouldn't wear them if I didn't look so cool in them. I can't not look cool. So I don't know what you want me to do. Anyway, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Until that day, good luck and Godspeed.